objectives of sole proprietorship. Okay. First and foremost, this particular topic, it consists of the definition of sole proprietorship. It consists of the features of sole proprietorship, which are very important, the merits and demerits of sole proprietorship, and where this business is suitable. Okay. So we are going to be starting. I am just waiting for the others. I don't know why the other participants have not come in. It's already 9.
Ma'am, let's start. Like they'll come soon.
They'll be joining in. Okay, we'll start. Right. We are going to start with first the meaning of sole proprietorship. Okay. Who is a sole proprietor? That is what we are going to start with. Good morning, Rana. Okay. So let's start. Who is a sole proprietor? Sole proprietorship business is a business owned, financed. 1 minute. I'll just start from this. Sole proprietorship is a business owned, financed, and controlled by a single person. Single person means who? By one person business. Okay. The owner is called the proprietor because he is responsible for all the profits and losses of the business. Say I say that Kaustav, you are going to start an ownership business of your own. Say a business of garments. Now you are the sole owner. You are putting in all the money and you are only controlling the business. So such kind of a business becomes a sole proprietorship business. So a business which is owned, financed and controlled by one single person. Okay. And that single person is who? He is the proprietor. So he will only be earning all the profits, but he will be also bearing all the losses. I want all of you to note down the definition of L.H. Henny. This is very important of sole proprietorship. Okay. Please look at the definition on the screen. The individual proprietorship is the form of business organization at the head of which stands an individual as one who is responsible, who directs its operation, and who alone runs the risk of failure. The definition by L.H. Henny. Important children. Okay. Please look at it. The individual proprietorship is the form of business organization at the head of which stands an individual as one who is responsible, who directs its operations, and who alone runs the risk of failure. This is the definition of sole proprietorship. So he is the one who's the head of the business organization. He is the one who's standing as an individual, as alone, and he's directing all the operations and he's running the risk of failure. Okay. Clear, everyone? Have you noted it down?
Ma'am, 2 minutes.
Okay, waiting. I'll just put on the group to the others to join in. Right. So the individual proprietorship is that form of business organization at the head of which stands an individual, and he is the one. Neha, I hope you're taking the definition down. And he is the one who's responsible and who directs the operations and runs the risk of failure. Is it done? Will I move on to the next slide or I'll wait for you all?
I'm done.
Done?
I'm done.
Done? Neha, done? Okay. Now we come to the important characteristics or features of sole proprietorship. Okay, so let's quickly go to the features of sole proprietorship. Now, if you look at the features, it says Good morning, Melvin. Okay, so now we are going to start with the features of sole proprietorship. The first feature we are talking about is single ownership. Okay, what do you understand by single ownership?
Ma'am, only one person is owning, making the business.
Very good. When we say single ownership, that it is a one-man business. So one-man control. So he is the person who is responsible for the ownership of the business. No one else is going to take the ownership of the business. As I said, if Kaustav is having a garment business, he is the owner. He is investing money. So it is his business, his finances, his capital is going to be involved. Okay, so first important feature we are talking about is single ownership. Okay, a sole proprietor is wholly owned by one single individual. The individual supplies his total capital to this business because it's my business. So I'm going to put all my capital in it. Okay, second important feature which I'm talking about is one man control. One man control means what? One man control means he's the one who has the power to take all the decisions of the business. No one else is going to take the decisions for him. Okay, so that is why it's called one man control. The ownership as well as the management is vested in the hands of this one single person. Owner is the single recipient of all the risks of the business as well as of the profits of the business. Now let's look at the advantage. Here, it is his business. He's putting money, he's investing capital, he's bearing all the risks. But at the same time, there is no sharing of profits. All the profits are coming to him alone. He is enjoying all the benefits. It is not partnership. He does not have to share the profits with anyone. So it is his own profits for the business. So no profit sharing. The sole proprietor is wholly entitled to all the profits of the business. But at the same time, he has to also bear all the losses of the business. No one is also going to share any losses with him. So his risk is very high. Okay. Then comes unlimited liability. What is the meaning of liability? Anyone has an idea? The meaning of liability?
Ma'am, I think dependence.
What is the meaning of liability, Costa? Anyone?
Ma'am, I think depending on.
No? Anyone else? Ronak, you want to try? Melvin? Anyone?
Ma'am, liability means the state of being legal.
Liberty.
To be legal.
No. Okay. So let's understand the meaning of liability.
Liberty?
Sorry?
Liability means liberty?
No. Liberty means freedom. Liability is a burden. Okay. Liability is what? Just like asset. Asset is something which you enjoy. Right? Liability is something you have to pay for. That is called a liability. Say I take a loan. That is a liability for me. I have to fulfill that loan. I have to pay that loan. So that's a liability for me. Understood? Now, why does this owner have unlimited liability? What do we understand when we say that the sole proprietor has unlimited liability? Anyone? Okay, let's try. So the proprietor is personally liable for all the debts of the business. He started a business. Now he's taken loan from people. He's working on credit. So who's going to pay all those debts? He has to pay. No one else is going to come to pay for him. So he is liable for all the debts of the business. In case, suppose he comes into a state of insolvency or he's not able to pay the debts of the firm. Now what he's going to do? What will the creditors do who need their payments back? What will the creditors do in that case? They are going to ask him. He'll be personally liable to sell his assets. He may even have to attach his personal property to pay the debts of the business. That's why he's got unlimited liability. Say he's owning a car or he has his own house, but he's not able to pay the debts. He will have to attach that car or his personal property to pay the debts of the business. Clear, children? Okay. Next part. After unlimited liability, we can say that the business and the owner has the same identity. There is no separate legal entity. The proprietor and the business are one and the same. In company, the proprietor and the business are different people. Melvin, I cannot see you. Your video is off. Okay. So in case, please understand that in case of sole proprietorship, the proprietor and the business are one and the same. There is no difference between the proprietor and the business. There is no separate legal entity. In case of a company, okay, like the shareholder has a different identity and the company has a separate identity. So business and owner have the same identity. There is no separate legal entity. Then comes small in size. Yes, sorry.
Could you repeat this point because I was disconnected due to some technical error?
Okay. I was talking about that the sole proprietorship has no separate legal entity. The sole proprietor and the business are one and the same. So whatever losses the business is incurring, even the proprietor is incurring, right? But in case of company, the shareholders and the company are two separate existence. The company has a separate existence and the members have a separate existence. But it is not so in case of sole proprietorship. They both are one and the same. Clear, Costa?
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Right. Owner takes all the decisions independently. He is the one-man show, one-man owner, one person putting all the finances in the business. So he is the one who is going to independently handle all the decisions of the business. Then we come to lack of business continuity. Suppose anything happens to the proprietor. He becomes insolvent. He becomes mad. He dies. The business comes to an end. So the business cannot continue without the existence of the proprietor. Clear? Then it is small in size. Such kind of a small. Yes, Costa. Tell me. Tell me.
It can be hereditary. If the owner dies or something, the son can take over. It's hereditary.
That is if he has transferred the business to him, not otherwise. Son will be able to take over if it was a Hindu undivided family business, not otherwise. Clear? Okay.
Yes.
Then the area of operations are limited, obviously, because it is a very small scale business. One person, he cannot put immense amount of capital at one point of time. So these kind of businesses are small. Let's take a small grocery shop near my house. That's also a sole proprietorship business. Okay. Another thing is too many legal formalities like registration, all these are not required. Okay. No legal formalities are required to start, manage and dissolve a sole proprietorship business. So I hope all the features are being cleared. There is no problem with the features. Okay, one by one, can you all answer them? Let's start. Okay, we'll start with Ronak. Ronak, tell me one important feature of sole proprietorship. I cannot hear. Tell.
I'm single ownership.
Single ownership. What do you understand by single ownership, Ronak?
Ma'am, single ownership means only one person can make a business, and if it is loss and profit, then it is his problem.
His problem. He's the owner of the business. Okay, good try. Doesn't matter. Next one. Costa, second point.
Ma'am, next is one man control. It means that all the decisions will be taken by the single owner.
Excellent. Neha, can you try one point today? Neha, can you try a point and answer, please? Come on. Try, doesn't matter even if you're wrong. I don't mind. Just give it a try at least. 1 point. You can see your screen and tell. Come on. Let's see you trying at least. Can you hear me? Melvin, can you please answer 1 point, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in the sole proprietorship, there is less legal formalities to.
Okay. Who can explain unlimited liability for me? Who can try?
Should I try?
Yes, Costa, please do.
Unlimited liability. Liability means something like a burden. So if has taken debt from someone, and if he is unable to pay them, he'll have to keep some personal property. He'll have to attach his personal property in order to pay them.
Excellent. Very good. So he has unlimited liability in the sense that he has to pay all the debts of the firm. So I think all the important features are clear to you. Ved, good morning. Why you're late today? He has just joined in. Ved?
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, what happened? Why so late today?
Ma'am, there was some connection issue, ma'am. I couldn't connect.
Okay. So just for your knowledge, we have already finished with the definition of sole proprietorship. Even Melvin, you joined in late.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
we've done the features of sole proprietorship. Okay. So Kaustav, can you just read out the features for Ved? He has just joined in. So we will know that he has understood the features. And then I will do it when I do the recap. We can just take down the definition. Kaustav, can you repeat them for us?
First, the first will is single ownership, followed by no sharing of profit and loss. Then comes one man's title, unlimited liability, less legal formalities, one man control, and small size.
Okay, clear all the features? Melvin, is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Can we go to the next slide then? Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
right. Now we come to the advantages and the limitations of sole proprietorship. Okay. As we have already discussed that sole proprietorship is a one-man business. There's one-man control. He's putting in all the money into the business. It is his capital. There's unlimited liability. So let's segregate them into merits and demerits. Okay. Firstly, obviously, if it's a one-man business, too much of registration, bureaucracy, legal formalities are not required. It is an easy startup. I can easily start the sole proprietorship business. Okay. So the easy to start and dissolve. As I said, a sole proprietorship can be set up easily and also very quickly. No legal formalities, too much of expenditure in the establishment of proprietorship is not needed. There is no need to associate others to enter into an agreement. Like in partnership, you need an agreement of the partners to get in. But in sole proprietorship, I don't need an agreement with anyone. It's my business. So it's very easy to start. Moreover, even you can dissolve or close down this business very quickly. Say you feel you're running at losses, your business is not doing well. You can just stop the business to your own convenience. Second comes maximum incentive to work. Why you think the incentive to work is very high in sole proprietorship? Can anyone tell me? Why is there a lot of motivation to work?
Ma'am, because all the profit will be ours only and there is no limitation.
Correct. So if you are only going to earn all the profits, you don't have to share the profits with your partners. There are no shareholders who are going to get dividend from the company. You alone are getting all the profits of the business. So the incentive to work hard is very high. Okay. Then comes, so there is a lot of motivation to work because the reward is profit. The reward is very high. Independent decision making and facility in making, flexibility of operations. Independently, I take a decision if something goes wrong. Say from the storekeeper, the raw materials have not come. Or during the formation of the finished products, I want some innovative changes. Or I want to make the packaging in my own way. Who's taking all these decisions? The proprietor himself. He has the flexibility of operations. He does not need to discuss anything. What happens when you work in a group? When we do group activity, what happens? Can you solely do exactly the way you want to?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Why?
Because like everyone gets equal things, so
Equal things.
work according to everyone.
Correct. But in a proprietorship business, when you are the sole owner, you are only putting money. You have the flexibility of designing the operations the way you want to. You're not answerable to anyone. You're not dependent on anyone. Correct? Quick decisions. Obviously, the proprietor can very quickly and promptly take all the decisions and implement them. He need not consult with others. Okay. Quick decisions and prompt actions helps him to obviously get more efficiency in his work. Okay. Personal attention can be given to customers. He can give a personal touch as a proprietor. He can build a relation with the customer. Today, as I said, if Kaustav is in a garment business and Melvin is his customer, so what will Kaustav do? Kaustav can go to Melvin. He can tell him about the product. He can tell him why he needs, he can make a buyer. He can build buyers for himself, right? He can attach some personal attention and touch to the business. Freedom from government controls. What do you understand by freedom from government controls? As I told you in the last chapter, try to connect with the last topic we did. Anyone?
Ma'am, it means that just single proprietorship, so the government is not involved in the business, and there are no limitations by the government.
Correct. There is no government interference. There's absolute flexibility of operations. It is very simple in size, small in size. There is no joint business here. You don't have to adjust yourself. The proprietor can expand and reduce the business according to his own convenience. Self-employed. He has employed himself for the business. So he is not liable to obviously pay salaries to others. Of course, he may have workers under him. That is possible, but it is a self-employed business. Then comes development of self-confidence. His confidence level is very high because he's earning profits, he's putting money, and as his business starts growing, after crossing the gestation period, you will see the proprietor will become even more confident and his business starts growing. Then there are one or two more points in the book, which I have not put on the slide, but when I will share it with you, you will be seeing the text, okay? It says there is secrecy of affairs. Why we can maintain secrecy of affairs? Anyone can try? Wait, why will there be secrecy of affairs?
Ma'am, ma'am, so that in the future you can get more shops and increase your business.
Yeah, but why am I able to maintain a secrecy? Can anyone say that? Anyone? Melvin, why can you maintain secrecy?
I think in order to maintain a sort of budget.
Secrecy means what? What does the term secrecy mean?
Ma'am, like it's not open to everyone.
So why is it not open to everyone? That's what I'm asking. Why is it not open to everyone?
So that like everyone does not copy the same idea.
Ma'am, because it.
Okay. He's the only
because it's a personal business.
It's a personal business. You are the only person. Whom are you going to share the secrets with? So whatever your techniques are there, it will remain within the business. No one can copy your ideas. That's why secrets are maintained. It's an advantage of this business. In partnership, you have to at least share the secrets with your partners. Yes or no? There's social utility. So sole proprietorship also provides self-employment. As I said, it offers a way of earning an honorable living. People who don't want to work for others, they don't want to come under others. It is a kind of an honorable way of living for yourself. It also helps equitable distribution of income and wealth. Thus, it provides equal opportunity to maximally utilize all the resources, and also the talents of people can come in the picture. Now we come to the demerits or the limitations of proprietorship. What are the demerits? Number one, limited capital. Why is it that the proprietor can only put limited capital? Can anyone?
Ma'am, because if he puts too much of capital, there is a chance that he could lose all of it.
That's one factor. What other can be the other factor? Can anyone else try apart from that reason?
Ma'am, he might not have enough money because he's a person.
If I'm alone, say I have a fund of 2 lakh rupees or 5 lakh rupees. This 2 or 5 lakh rupees is with me to put in, but I need say 8 lakh rupees to start up. But I don't have only any friend to invest money with me. That means I have to depend on loans. So my capital resources become limited in nature. Okay. But there are 5 partners: Ronak, Kaustav, Melvin, Neha, and Ved. All 5 are partners. Each one puts 2 lakh rupees. What will happen? The capital amount will increase to 10 lakh. Right? So in partnership, you can put in more capital. But in proprietorship, we will be putting very limited amount of capital. Limited managerial ability. Now, one person, can he be an expert in all the fields?
No, ma'am.
He cannot. What happens if we have division of labor? I can hire people who are experts who can, give me knowledge of how to do things. But if I'm running the show all alone, all decisions I have to take, starting from manufacturing, conversion of raw materials to finished product, packaging, advertising, and selling the product. So I'm, as a manager, as a person, you might not be expert in all the fields. It's possible, yes or no? But still you have to go with the decisions of the business. So second important point is limited managerial ability. The proprietor may not be able to develop sufficient time to all his activities, because of which he may commit some kind of errors and his decisions become unbalanced. Okay. Then comes unlimited liability. That's another very big demerit, because he has to pay all the debts of the firm. In fact, he has to also attach his personal property to pay the debts. As I said, if there were 5 partners, all of you would bear the risk equally, or maybe in a ratio in which you're putting the capital. But here, all full risk, all the debts, the proprietor has to bear himself. Then comes uncertain life. Sole proprietorship does not enjoy continuity of existence. As I said, if someone dies or someone becomes sick or he's insolvent, he has to stop the business. So his successor may not be capable enough also to carry out the business effectively. Then comes limited scope for expansion. Due to limited financial and managerial resources, there is limited scope for expansion and growth. And he may, because he has to manage so many things together, it leads to hasty decisions, imbalanced decisions. And it's a very conservative way of working. Today, people are more believing in the company form, where the risk is much lesser for them, where shareholders can earn money very quickly in the form of dividend. So this kind of approach is a more conservative way of learning, okay, and doing the business. Clear the merits and demerits? Clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Yes,
okay, one merit each one will tell. Ronak, you start. One merit of sole proprietorship. I cannot hear. Tell.
and
Yes.
easy to start.
Easy to start. Why is it easy to start, Ronak?
Ma'am, because he is only 1%, so he is not having government permissions.
If he's not having permissions, then how he will start the business?
That means he don't need the
Too many legal formalities are not required.
formalities.
Just
for
one
the
license and he
starting.
can start the business. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Melvin, can you tell me another important point?
Ma'am, self-employment. In this, he is only the employer and he is only it is his own company, so he is only the employments.
Okay, he has his own employment. Kaustav, next point.
Ma'am, the next point is personal attention to customers. In this, he can maintain a relation with the customers and give them personal attention in order to make them a buyer. He cannot convince them to buy the products.
Okay, very good. Ved, can you tell me one more benefit?
Yes, sir. Ma'am, independent decision making and facilitating flexibility of operation. That means he can make his independent decisions because he's the only person and it's a private company, and that so he can get many type of ideas to conduct his operations. So he has many different operations, varied operations.
Neha, can you tell me one? Is she there or again disappeared?
She is there.
Okay. What about the limitations? Who's going to tell me the limitations one by one? Come on. One limitation before we go on. Yes, Rana.
Uncertain life, means he will die sick or is not having well, so the company can close.
Okay. Moreover, also, if he becomes insolvent, okay, insolvent means what? All his funds are finished. He doesn't have any more funds to run the business. He becomes in debt. Okay.
The next one is limited finances.
Okay.
In this, he cannot expand the business as he has limited finances because he is the only one doing the whole business.
Okay. Very good. Melvin?
Ma'am, next is managerial limit.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 second, Melvin. Yes, you raised your hand. Neha, please tell. She's raised the hand, but she's not answering. Okay, tell Melvin.
Ma'am, next is managerial limit. In this, the management of this private company,
Organization.
there is a limited management because he's the only person in this private company.
Okay, he does not have any experts to guide him, and even if he commits errors, he has to obviously understand all those decisions himself, and he has to take them. Great. So I think more or less the merits, demerits are clear. Can we go
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
next part?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Now, sole proprietorship is a suitable form of organization in the following cases. Where and when I can apply this kind of business? Wherever the market is local, wherever there are very small scale retailers, this kind of business is applicable. This business is also very, very important where personal attention can be given to the needs and preferences of customers. If you have to target a very high income group, then obviously this is not very effective, right? But on the other hand, oh, sorry, mic is muted from my side. You all cannot hear me. Okay. No, mic is not muted. Okay. So when personal attention, obviously, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So where
Yes, ma'am.
personal
Yes, ma'am.
attention to the needs and preferences of customers is essential. Like say I'm running my own beauty parlor or I'm having my own tailoring shop. Then for such conditions, sole proprietorship is very suitable. Even where fashion changes are taking place very frequently. Where small amount of capital is required, okay? But personal skills are more important, like a health clinic, something, any small scale business. Even as I told you, the small grocery shop near your house comes under sole proprietorship business, or a pan bala shop can also be a sole proprietorship business, where quick decisions and prompt actions are very necessary. You do not have too much of paperwork, you do not have too many decisions to take. Sole proprietorship is the best possible solution where risk is negligible. Okay, where risk involved is negligible. Obviously risk in the point of view of the business is high, but obviously as a one person, like a who's conducting all kinds of his own particular field of business, for him the risk factor would be lower. Clear? Okay, let's go to the next slide then. Costa, where are you?
I'm here.
Okay. Now we come to another second important form of business. I'll just give the introduction of this, and then we will be doing the slides of this particular topic in the next class. Okay. The joint Hindu family business. This is a second important form of private sector business organization. This came into force under the Hindu Undivided Families business came under the Hindu Succession Act. This business says that if you have an ancestral property and it is inherited by a male member from his father, great grandfather, or grandfather, the successive generations can inherit the property and carry out the business. All the male members having a share in the family property are called the coperceners. What are they called? Coperceners. So say there is one generation, okay? You have the great grandfather, then he was the oldest member and he ran the business. So he was the karta. After he died, his son took over, okay? So he became now the karta. Then all his other brothers or all the other sons, they become the coperceners of the business. This kind of a business is not very effective today. It has in fact gone, you can say it exists, but not on a very high scale. But in the olden times, this was a very, very, you can say, especially in the Marwadi families or in very joint families, this kind of business was very effective. And the females or the daughters they would never become the coperceners. It would be only the male members who would become the coperceners. And the one who would be taking all the decisions of the business would be the karta of the business. clear? Did you understand what is the joint Hindu family business? Everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right. So coming to the features of this business and coming to the merits, demerits, and comparison with sole proprietorship, that is these parts we will be touching upon in the next class. Okay. So I'm going to now just do a recap since we have only 2.5 minutes left. Okay. So coming to, let's quickly come back from the beginning. Some of you had not taken down the definition of sole proprietorship. What is sole proprietorship? Kaustav, can you read the definition out for me quickly for everyone to read it, please?
Yes, ma'am. The individual proprietorship is the form of business organization at the head of which stands an individual as one who is responsible, who directs its operations, and who alone runs the risk of failure. By L.H. Haney.
When you are quoting the definition, please write the name of the person. Quoted definitions will give you full 2 marks in the short questions. So learn your definitions well. Okay. Ved, have you seen the definition I've given of L.H. Haney?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Features. Quickly, who's going to read the features for me once? Yes, Rana. Fast.
The features of sole proprietorship, single ownership, no sharing of profit and loss, one man's capital, unlimited liability, less legal formalities, one man control, and small size.
Features, very important. This comes as a 5-mark answer, children. Explain all the features of sole proprietorship. Okay?
So, ma'am, 5 marks kill only 5 points, right?
5 marks, 5 points. Correct. Great.
So, we'll write any 5 and just explain
Yeah,
one
but
one
we'll
line.
highlight them. Highlight means what? Like say I explained single ownership. You must have seen your notes. They are highlighted. All features and points are always highlighted. And then you
So,
explain.
I will underline it. Can we
You will
underline it?
underline each point and then explain it. Okay.
Okay.
Merits. Melvin, can you read the merits for me? Class is going to end quickly.
The middle,
Yes, Melvin?
Ma'am, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Advantages: easy to start. Second, maximum incentive to work. Third, independent decision making, facilitating flexibility of operations. Fourth, maintenance of the security of business affairs possible. Fifth, personal attention to customers. Sixth, freedom from governmental control. Seventh, self-employment. And eighth, development of self-confidence.